Hello world, my name is Ashley and welcome back to True Story. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. True Story is a combination of stories that I have overcame over my lifetime that has helped me. So I'm here to just give you a little tea and also help you in the process. So don't forget that subscribe button. Also like this video, don't hesitate to comment. So today we're discussing mental health. The month of May focuses on mental health awareness. So I wanted to just share some light with you, share a few of my experiences, and kind of let you know what I do to keep myself motivated, keep myself in check in reference to having healthy mental health and healthy surroundings to go about everyday life. So, mental health, okay? Mental health is a broad perspective. It can be something on the smallest perspective as far as depression, anxiety, all the way to other mental health conditions like schizophrenia, depressions, paranoia, multi-person disorders, things of that sort. And then the middle median, it can be some things like you're just feeling down, you don't feel like yourself. You're not having got quite far to the left or quite far to the right, but you're just going through something. You don't understand why your body or why your mind is going through those certain type of things. Okay. So with that being said, I have experienced on several levels, on many different occasions, of dealing with people that I love that struggle with mental health on a deeper level. How I have stayed sane over the years, I have to, and you can do this too, you have to not allow the people that are around you or that surround you to consume you and suck you in. You can be supportive, you can be a helping hand, but don't allow them to bring you down to the point where you're now on their level, or now you're feeling some type of way and you're feeling down and you're like, where did this feeling come from? Yeah, don't let it get you. So just to bring it on perspective, I did not have a normal childhood. If you watch my my very first true story about how my mom's boyfriend raped me, yes. So amongst other things, let me just bring you into perspective. As far as having a mother that's really a mother, the loving person that you want to go to, that friend, the person you can confide in, things of that sort, that never existed in my life. I had to maneuver life without that present. My grandma, other family members like aunties and things like that were kind of like the backbone, and they kind of showed me some of the ropes, but they didn't give it all to you or give it all to me. So with that being said, you know, it's kind of difficult as a young lady growing into a woman, going throughout life and not having that mother to cling to. So I had to gravitate to my own personal resources and come up with something that can help me, right? So when I mean by motherly, things of that sort, like stuff like, this is how you do this is how you be a lady. I mean, talking to me about sex, just like different little things you just didn't have someone to go on a play date with, spend those moments with, you know what I mean? And I kind of had to go through that. I kind of had to go through just not having that female presence available. And speeding up to today in perspective, just knowing that now, because of things that happened in her childhood and in her life and things that she exposed herself to, now it brings into perspective, this is why she couldn't be my mother properly. Those of you all who don't know, I'm telling you now for the first time, my grandmother raised me. She passed away in 2001. That was a really, really, really tough year for me. I think that was the same year as the World 9/11, right? Yeah. So that was all the same year. So we had my grandma pass away, 9/11, all that good jazz. It was kind of crazy. Kind of from there, for that point was rock bottom for me. I had to began to kind of figure out life. Those around that knew my grandmother and knew of our family, they kind of pretty much went through it with us. It was a meltdown. She was a great big deal in the community, the church, and just family and all those other things. She played a huge role. So just me noticing things that happened in my life and why things turned out the way it did. I had to wait till I was adult to figure it out. Like literally. So, and from me experiencing those experiences with my mom and her mental health, brings in perspective today of how I've overcame without her presence. So, those of y'all that personally know me can understand, like, oh my gosh, Ashley, you went through a lot in your childhood. I can't believe you even have achieved what you have achieved today, but you went through a lot. So with that being said, guys, from mental health, if you're dealing with a death in the family, if you're dealing with someone personally that's close to you that struggles with mental health, that struggles with those demons that don't want to attack them and things of that sort, just be there for them. Just pretty much sometimes all you can do is pray for a person. That's probably all you should do in some cases. But don't allow yourself to get sucked in. You have to also stay sane for yourself. You have to also make sure that you're okay for yourself. If you have a family, you have to make sure you're okay for them, your job, things of that sort. You're like, well, actually, you saying all that to say what? I'm saying all that to say, regardless of what you went through in your childhood, regardless of what you went through in your household, with your family members, regardless of what you go through on your job, regardless of what you go through at church, regardless of what you go through with your friendships, your marriage, your children, just going news from the doctor. Don't allow things that are temporary to change you permanently. Okay? And that's something I had to learn later on in life. Well, I didn't quite get it as a child. I didn't quite get it as a teenager. And as I became a young adult, I had to channel in on myself and put things in a perspective. Ashley, you're going to have a positive life. I had to speak affirmations over myself. I had to constantly journal. I had to constantly write down things that were bothering me in my diary. I had to seek therapy at one point just because I didn't know. I thought something was wrong with me. It really wasn't. It was like I experienced so much trauma and I had to figure out a permanent plan of something I practice on a daily basis so it would not consume me. Case in point, like I said, my mom, that experience was very traumatic for me. Even though I have several siblings, we all grew up separately. That'll be a whole nother different video. We all grew up separately in a sense at a period of time in our lives. That'll be another video. Comment down below if you want to know about that video. So first thing I had to do is figure out what I wanted for myself out of life. Regardless if I had children or family, actually, what do you need to do on a daily basis to stay happy? One thing I had to do is pray. Pray often. So when I pray often and I put that in perspective, I do my devotion. If I don't do nothing but get like 30 seconds in to hear something, hear a word, because sometimes you do forget. That's just natural. You're human. You work a lot, whatever the case is. Sometimes you just forget. We can all admit that we have forgotten, right? Prayer, devotion has helped me tremendously throughout my lifetime. Number two, staying connected with an accountability partner. Sometimes your accountability partner has to be yourself. And you're like, how do you do that? You have to make make a chart, whether it be on your phone, whether it's digital, whether it be something you look at. Get a whiteboard, make a chart and look at it constantly, daily. When you get up, you get your routine, check 1, 2, 3, 4 off the list, things of that sort. So sometimes you don't have anybody that you trust to be an accountability partner. So you kind of have to motivate yourself on a deeper level. So look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, this day forward, this is what I decree. This is what I declare. And you put that plan to action. Okay, so you gotta pray and you gotta have a plan. Number 3, the thing that helped me is my perspective, right? my perspective, your outlook. It could be perspective in reference to what you focus on. You have to make sure you remain optimistic. Your perspective has to be so grand on life that it overcomes the negativity. For example, you could be looking at your bank account, right? And it might not be the dollar allowance that you want, but your perspective and your outlook is, hey, I got this. I'm going to get there eventually. That's your perspective and remaining optimistic. You can go to work and work can be just total chaos. You can walk in and the energy can be so bad that it consumes you. But you have to stop and pray and have a plan and say, you know what? Regardless of how this thing turns out, I'm in here to win it. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to do what I have to do to keep my name in the clear, and get my head out the clouds. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just positive energy. I'm gonna be the light. I'm gonna shine bright, and I'm gonna do what I have to do. And this situation is gonna change, okay? Because sometimes we shed so much light on situations that are temporary. In our mind, we have already made them permanent, but they're temporary. Be careful what you say, because this thing, the tongue, has power. It has power. So be careful what you speak. Okay? Be careful. Number 3 is what I had to do. Is I had to figure out what is my purpose? Right? What's my purpose? What am I here for? What do I want to do? What do I want to become? So once you get all that in perspective, you can figure out your purpose. And the way I figured out my purpose, I had to stumble, I had to hit my head, I had to roll over. I had to do a whole lot of stuff. But one thing is for certain, when I started to get negativity out of my mind, and it does come sometimes, but you have to rebuke that thing and rechannel, right? I had to detox from the negativity that was around me. That means people, the environment. That means certain jobs. Yeah, so I left certain jobs on good terms, but I left. Sometimes you have to up and jump shift in your environment. Sometimes the state, the city you're living in, it's not for you. So once you do that, know your purpose and write it down, make a plan, get together a vision board, and just bring it all together. Okay? So those things definitely help me. I hope they help you. I'm going to do a continuation to this video because it's mental health. So I do want to focus that here on my channel on True Story for you guys. I do apologize that I have been kind of out dealing with some things, guys. And during the vlog, if you watch my vlogs, I'll talk about that. So make sure you tune in so you can hear about that on my vlogs. But what I want to tell y'all, honestly, when it comes to your mental health, you are in control. You can do it with God's with God's help. Mental health is definitely important. And it's the thing. You don't have to be absolutely batshit crazy to have mental health issues. You can just be going through a rough patch and it bothers you to the point where it's consuming your mind and how you think and how you operate. So also, I forgot to mention this. Exercise, y'all. I don't care if you get a little bit, 30 minutes a day works. If you can't go outside the house, you can exercise in the chair. You can exercise in the bed. You can exercise around your house with some canned goods. Get that cardio in, guys. That is very, very important. If you haven't gotten to the point where you're doing like weightlifting and things like that, don't worry about it. Do a Zumba class. We can go old school and do Taebo. Just get it in any way you can. Yoga is really good for meditation. Taekwondo, karate. Guys, get it in however you can because it releases those negative toxins out your body and it just gets everything really well. So get some type of cardio and watch how you eat and what you put in your body does affect all of that system. Okay? And get rest. Get rest. That's important. Okay, so I appreciate you. Like I said, I'm gonna do this video, more videos again. for the month of May regarding mental health. It's important. Make sure you share this video because sharing is caring. And like I always say, be kind to yourself, others, including strangers, and until next time, peace.